Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be it, the conclusion to the APAC Finals. After this, we're going to have our top 8 at BlizzCon, our top 8 for the World Finals in 2019. My name is Sid Zubadis Compton. We're joined on the desk with Joe and Dilly. Look at this bracket. What a grueling road it has been for Order throughout that lower bracket, trying to make a run and qualify once again. They are our reigning champions of the APAC region. Gameface, with their Rogue Mage Paladin, are looking to make a tear, though. Joe's predictions somewhat going in his expectations. How are we seeing this final play out, Joe?
Oh, I think it's going to be a close one. It's going to be really close. I actually think I'm going to switch it. I was going to
switch it.
I thought Order would win, but I feel like it might. Actually, yeah, I go back to Order. I think history's going to repeat itself. I think that the momentum from the lower bracket, they got all the way here, and I think they're going to take it.
I'm glad you got things in order, Joe. It was looking chaotic there.
It was. I mean, it's just because the other team, they're playing Rogue Mage Pally. It's hard to really challenge that. That's why.
And Dilly, what are your expectations here?
So I actually talked to Oxygen after that break, and he was saying that this series comes down to the blind pick more than any other series. And he said that if they win the blind pick and they lose, that we can all flame him, and we could just say he's so bad for losing. But he thinks that it comes down to that blind pick. I see that as being quite reasonable. The thing is I feel like Gameface is going to stick to the Rogue Mage Paladin, but maybe Featherfeet wants to fight for revenge. Remember, he was on Order last year. So either way, we have one of our previous APAC champions going to BlizzCon. Now, the thing that we have to think of, was Featherfeet the problem, or was Order the problem?
Was Featherfeet the problem?
Yes, exactly. I mean, who's the blame? Who's the reason they go?
This is a grudge match. Friends, now enemies here in the APAC Finals.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is, even if someone's on the bench, they can add a lot of value to a team. Like Snuts with Cloud9 perfects that team in a way that people don't understand because he is so methodical. He is one of the smartest long-term players in the game. And I mean, Featherfeet, he could be doing that. My boy is a genius.
I can only imagine
exactly
how much vengeance Featherfeet has
in
his eyes.
So much that he might go Vengeance Demon Hunter, maybe, from talking to them.
No.
Well, I mean, if it happens.
Absolutely not.
If it happens.
100% certainty of that not happening.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. There's no way.
Am I right, Joe?
Yeah,
you're right.
Okay, good. This is the first time the entire weekend I've been right, so let me take in this, okay?
It only took till now.
Not even just this weekend.
Hey, better late than never, okay?
Not even
better
just
late
this
than
weekend,
never.
bro. This is the first time in your life.
Whatever, man. Whatever, man. We've
Actually,
got
you're on the
some
right on the
business ahead of ourselves. We got our predictions. Do we want to hear mine?
Nah.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
No,
I wasn't talking to you, okay? I was talking to Joe.
I was reading Twitch.
I care about Joe's opinion, okay? He's a BlizzCon champion.
Well, that's true.
I respect Joe.
Thank you.
He also was a BlizzCon champion that did not play Mage.
Yep.
So this is true.
He's also a BlizzCon champion that did not sit on the bench the entire time.
This is true.
What is it with Warlocks on the bench?
I mean, it's just the meta. I
It's
mean,
the meta?
yeah.
Think about how many years Warlocks have been riding the bench.
Well, the thing is, Warlocks were like the mages in the past too, right? Warlocks used to actually always be Warlocks and mages were like always head to head with each other, and then it's like now Warlocks are like sometimes bad, so sometimes they're on the bench. And then now the mages are always like prevalent.
Yeah, it's just the mages are a really dominant force right now. You're going to see the mages played more often. I mean, because right now, Swapsy's, pretty much on the bench quite a lot. If Method Black play RMD, doesn't really mean anything if you're on the bench. It's just your roster is so high up. And ooh! Okay, so this is interesting because I was expecting the RM Palette, but not the Warrior Mage Druid. So.
Yum, yum. This is going to be a tasty grand final. Order's Warrior Mage Druid against Gameface's Rogue Mage Paladin. Likely to be a very fast-paced matchup here. CMD is isolated and under fire. Temporal Shield soaking the first initial hit. War Banner is going to be disrupted, but the chain has been broken, and now Shredded is in a polymorph, and Cheesy Nacho is in trouble.
Yeah, He is in trouble right now, taking a lot of pressure. They get the Cyclone on the Shredded as well. No Temporal Shield. If Yosuke can connect, they're going to get a ton of pressure. He's super low on HP. The Crusade comes out from Shredded. The melee wings even going to try and keep him alive. This was the combustion though from Cheesy Nacho. He might have to ice block right now. He is getting super low on HP. That was CMD actually. His Cauterize procking there right now, so well played by Gameface. They do go ahead in this matchup, and Oxygen's going to be careful. This is definitely going to be a tough one for him to play Rest of Druid against, dealing with that mage onslaught. But now a Stormbolt into a Ring of Frost on the Cheesy Nacho. Nice timing onto that Temporal Shield. A beautiful Vortex on the Shimmer right there, keeping him alive, keeping him onto Yosuke. But excellent defensive plays coming in from Cheesy Nacho.
This is such a volatile matchup, and you can see this is why they are in the finals. Both teams are making play after play against each other. This is just beautiful. And I mean, I have to ask, I wonder if this was actually the expected pick from Order. I wonder if they thought that Warrior Mage would be good, because this is something that Wildcard Gaming, who qualified for BlizzCon, they were playing this versus a lot of the Rogue Mage Paladins. They defeated the M2KC from North America. Granted, they had a Mistweaver Monk instead of the Resto Druid, but I mean, this looks good. I could see Order taking this game. It is very back and forth. Both of these mages are under fire constantly. Cheesy Nacho has to be worried out. He's locked out. He does have his Cauterize available still, though, unlike CMD, but they are still chasing him. Yosuke is just running at him the entire game. And honestly, I think I like the Relentless from Oxygen. Even though he sits that full blind, I think that it makes it so much harder for Cheesy Nacho to get CC consistently, just because Fire Mages have a lot harder time getting a Polymorph when the target has Relentless.
It's a battle of the mages. Australia, New Zealand's finest, but only one of them can make it to BlizzCon. Game one in this best of 7 grand finals, and this is looking dicey. Cheesy Nacho forced into the ice block, but the crowd control is not going to be stopping anytime soon, I believe. 3 polymorphs. Where are the Cyclones? Oxygen lined up, gets stunned on it. Beautiful counter aggression by Shredded. Now when they need to chain it, but they can't, they get denied, and it's Cheesy Nacho who is still in trouble. Shredded stunned up. He has to use a bop on a Stormbolt just to get his heals going with the Avenging Crusader. Now that they've faded, it will be difficult to recover. Temporal Shield soaking some of the damage here, allowing Shredded a moment to breathe. Oxygen in cat form at the pillar. Maybe he's going to sit down for a drink, look for a late game advantage. Doesn't look like it. Polymorph secured. This could be the game-winning Polymorph. Cheesy Nacho on the run, but Yosuke's connecting. Cauterize, going to proc. Cheesy Nacho on the run. Shredded barely saves the day with that Hand of Sacrifice, redirecting the damage and keeping Gameface alive in game 1.
He just about stays alive. He runs in for the Hammer of Justice on Oxygen. They need to get crowd control onto him, though. They secure the full sheep right now. CMD gonna be in trouble. He still has the ice block available where he wants to hold onto it as much as possible. The full blind right now. CMD going lower and lower. He'll need to use his ice block. He doesn't have the Cauterize. There it is. Ice blocking just about to survive now. Both teams running out of defensive cooldowns, running out of time to survive. The next crowd control chain on the enemy healers could easily be the game for both teams. So they're going to be out for blood right now. Who can pull this off? Who can get the offensive maneuvers to win their team the game?
This is so scary. They had that Temporal Shield being used by CMD, but there's that Arm Arc Pre. Oh, Pre gets it, but no! They killed Cheesy Nacho on the go. Both mages go at the same time, both get sheeps, and that is a clean kill from Order in that first game. I'm just so impressed by this team. They have such a wide variety of lineups and compositions at their disposal. They have WMD, a setup composition. They have that Demon Hunter DK, a dampen composition, and then they have the Ret Warrior, another, like, they just have an answer for everything, including their secret comp. I mean, I'm just impressed that they are very easily able to do adapt no matter what they're fighting, and they just play the comp without any shakeup, swapping between those styles.
Order smashed game 1.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely smashed game 1.
They slayed it, but it was pretty close. It came down to the wire. Like, both mages had nothing. Oxygen had some of his crowd control, but he was caught in crowd control himself. And with Relentless, he's not going to be able to get those iron bugs off, but well played by Order. I feel like why this is such a smart composition is that it answers Featherfeet. I mean, we've seen how well it does against the Destruction Warlocks. If they can be the Iron Pally with the Warrior Mage Druid every time, what do Gameface do?
Play better. That's all they. That's all they can do. They have to just play at their peak. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Such
that's
a straightforward answer, of course.
I mean, that's the only option. If you're limited to one composition, obviously their Destruction Warlock is going to be shut down. They just have to play their Arm Pal to their peak. But they did that versus Unitas. They went into a matchup that we thought was actually out of favor for them, and they played phenomenally. They I mean, they made it look like a counter matchup. Like I'm questioning if that even beats Arm Pal anymore. If it's just a mistake, a choke every time I fight a Fire Mage.
Well, Order have improved drastically from last year now in terms of comp diversity and as well as execution here. Looking solid to potentially 4-0 the finals. That would be quite a statement. I think it was CMD making a bet with Unitas saying, we're going to 4-0 them, and you're going to owe me something after the tournament to Unitas. So it's already one game in their back pocket.
They have the momentum.
Do you think they changed their comp?
No.
I don't think so, right? It's just going to be Rogue Mage, Pally the whole time.
Yeah, I do too. I think Order, they just have the momentum. Like they came through. They've played so many games, and on the other hand, you have Gameface, and they haven't played in a while. And it's like Order did the same thing last year. Once they make that lower bracket run, there's never a point where they did not play a series today, right? They're just constantly going in. So they're warmed up. They're playing their best. They can really feel it. They're in the zone. And on the other hand, Gameface is coming in. It's like, oh, well, maybe we played a little bit bad. But then once it's the finals and you're in that position, you kind of can get nervous. And when you see a team make a miracle run like this in the lower bracket,
I mean, now means everything on the line. This is their BlizzCon titles. So, losing that game 1 is going to definitely take a toll. But if they keep it level-headed and just, play the Rogue Mage pattern, it definitely wasn't one-sided, even though the kill was very clean. I mean, they were very close to winning it. They just needed to put off a better strategy, survive a little bit better, and they could take down the Warrior Mage Druid.
Do you think the Avenging Crusader is the move for the Holy Paladin?
No.
No, yeah.
Not versus Druid.
Yeah.
I don't like
so
the
much,
melee wings.
Yeah, there's so much crowd control coming in from the Mage and the Druid that I feel like they can shut down the melee wings a lot. They can also kite it a lot in general, so I don't really like that choice coming out from him. But
I like Relentless more. I want Shredded to actually play Relentless. Like every time we see the teams fighting their Warrior Mage, no one is playing Relentless, but I think that Relentless is really good versus Warrior Mage. Oxygen is even playing it versus Rogue Mage, and it makes a little bit less sense against that. But when you're fighting Warrior Mage, it just makes the most sense because Fire Mages will have a lot harder time dealing with that shorter Dragon's Breath. Otherwise, if you play Gladiator's Medallion, sure, breaks you out of 1 CC, but it becomes so easy for a Fire Mage to get multiple chain crowd controls, especially because they have 3 schools to cast from. And this just makes it, I don't know, it's just not the right choice, I think. I think you want to play Relentless into Warrior Mage. I think that'll give them the advantage. Play a little bit better, drop the melee wings, just be confident, go aggressive. The Paladin still can do a lot of damage without melee wings just due to Indomitable Justice. Maybe he could even play Crucible of the Flame if he wants to throw in that extra pressure, but definitely Relentless.
I mean, yeah, that was one thing that they were doing. Blizzo and Mara, they played Crucible of Flame. So I wonder if Yosuke are doing that as well to get instant pressure when they get these crowd control setups.
Well, Warrior Mage Druid is an adaptation that they're stealing from Wildcard Gaming. We're looking to set up game number 2 after this quick break.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the APAC Finals. As you can see, we took a bit of a longer break right now. We had to sort out our technical difficulties, getting rid of Chief Cringe and Captain Cringe on our desk so we can finally resume into the APAC Finals in Seoul, getting into the second game. And as we've seen earlier today, we saw Gameface actually lose as the Rogue Mage Paladin against the Warrior Mage Druid of Order. Now, they've been playing sublimely as this composition right now. And I feel like as the Warrior Mage Druid, if they don't have an answer for this, I feel like they could just take the whole thing because, we saw they were very good against the Destruction Warlock, and so I don't see Featherfeet coming in. I believe they'll probably have to stick to that Rogue Mage Paladin and try and battle it out. Rogue Mage versus Warrior Mage, and we'll see if the Rogue Mage are able to win or not. I mean, it's going to be a tough one, but it's good that Order took that first win in this game. And, I'm excited to be pretty much casting...
I'm just kidding. The Cringe Chief, he only needs 2
Did you think you
pillows,
could get
guys.
rid
Come
of the
on.
cringe, Joe?
tried.
I only need 2
I
pillows.
tried my best, Twitch chat. I'm sorry.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. How does
Cringe
it feel?
has returned.
We were just roughed up a bit by our director.
You got enough pillows there?
Yeah, I mean, I only need 2. The 4, I mean... Wait, did they
Should we
take
get
those?
them back?
Yeah, can we get the pillows back? Yeah.
Joe
All right.
holding down the fort. I
Thank you
almost
so
feel
much,
bad
Joe.
for him. We are at the APAC Finals. We've got Gameface and we've got Order, and we've got a stacked pillow roster going ahead of ourselves here in the grand finals. Only one of these two teams can qualify to BlizzCon. Let's see what we're going to be watching. Dalaran Arena locked in here, and more of the same. Rogue Mage Paladin going head-to-head with Warrior Mage Druid. Order have been playing a phenomenal Warrior Mage Druid. I'm very impressed with their diversity, running these melee cleave mana rift strategies, immediately switching over to Mage Druid, hyper aggression, and then still having the Rep Paladin melee cleaves as well to back themselves up. They would be a solid contender on the world stage.
Yeah, and I believe, got to give credit to Oxygen and Yosuke as well as CMD. I mean, Yosuke playing that old Warrior, he's been playing it for quite a long time, but playing it very well to take down the main Rogue Mage Pally from Gameface. And Oxygen as well was kind of critiquing him when he was against Gray. Felt like he was getting caught out of form too much, but he seemed to held his own against the Rogue Mage Pally.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that will make Order scary, if they do advance and make it to BlizzCon, Oxygen, the more practice he gets on Rescue Druid, the better they are, because last year he had the same kind of thing. He had to start rerolling Shaman instead of playing his Disc Priest in the tournaments, which he had a phenomenal amount of experience. But if he can adapt to playing a Rescue Druid too, they have CMD, who's a great mage, and he keeps getting better and better and better, and you see him making so many plays. It's actually awesome watching him and Cheesy Nacho go head-to-head because, I mean, they're the best mages in the region, right? So with Yosuke, who's been playing as Warrior for a long time, he played Warrior to qualify last year. I think this team just looks awesome. Gameface, though, they can really surprise us. I think that they have a great RM pal.
We have sorted out our technical difficulties, but we cannot, unfortunately, fix the cringe. Game number 2 here, Order in the lead in this best of 7 grand finals. A fiery finish between Cheesy Nacho and CMD. Both mages running the greater Pyroblast. If this spell is able to be casted, it deals a significant percentage of the opposing player's health. A devastating blow indeed. Shredded falling behind, trying to pick himself back up with the Divine Favor. CMD the target, but stable with Iron Bark active from Oxygen. So far, decent and moderate cooldown trades from both sides.
Yeah, pretty moderate. I would say Gameface had a slight advantage, but it's not really going to matter too much getting the Iron Bark and the Temporal Shield, so they're going to be able to get a lot of pressure onto CMD. Nice Hammer of Justice as well onto Oxygen. Can they get the Sheep? No. Nice counter spell. Nice Sheeps coming out from CMD, completely shutting down that crowd control from Cheesy Nacho, and now they can reverse the pressure as well. Cycling onto Shredded. He is playing with that Relentless as well as Cheesy Nacho. They're unable to chain it though, so both teams, you know, kind of getting denied on their offensive setups. So good defensive play coming out from both teams.
I find it interesting. Oxygen was the one that was playing Relentless in the first game, and now he's playing Gladiator's Medallion instead. Shredded's the one playing Relentless. But I still like the adaptation. I mean, he's still playing that melee wings, but I mean, he's really confident with playing it. He really likes to play it. I still want to critique that, but you can just see how much better this looks for Gameface just with him playing that Relentless. Now the pressure is on a Cheesy Nacho though. He has that Temporal Shield. Goes off though. No Maledict to absorb that. Doesn't get purged off. That's looking great for them. They're safe in this setup, and now the pressure is on to CMD.
Ooh. Yeah, full Hodge on the Oxygen right now. Kidney shot on the CMD, but a nice time. Temporal Shield, but it may not be enough there to chain their crowd control. He's dropping super low on HP. Nice Dragon's Breath as well. No follow-up chains. You see, Oxygen has the Iron Bark. He uses it. It's counterspell onto CMD, so he's going to easily keep him topped, keep him nice and healthy, and they need to look for more counter pressure, Sid.
All right, let's see if they can get that counter pressure. No Avenging Crusader for some time. This is a moment for Order if they want to push forward, but they will have to go around the corner to crowd control Shredded. CMD blinking in for it, but gets Dragon's Breath by Cheesy Nacho. Totally shut down. Now Shredded's trying to take advantage of that, pushing forward, securing the Hammer of Justice, while CMD is unable to crowd control him. Beautiful coordination here from Gameface, but the chain is dropped. And without the chain, you are not going to be taking down CMD. Pressure now building for Order towards Cheesy Nacho. Shredded gonna have to make a choice. He's trying to avoid CMD at the boxes, wrapping around the corner. The Dragon's Breath Polymorph would be devastating. Oxygen, he's playing it slow and steady for the late game, but immediately coming back to the fight as he sees CMD engaged on. Shredded stunned up, the Ring of Frost secured. Beautifully done by CMD. Yas getting dispelled out of Poly, but now in a cheap shot, 6-0 backing up his partner, Cheesy Nacho, most excellently in this position. Despite the Polymorph chain, they escape unscathed.
I'm so surprised by Gameface here. So the one thing that they always have done is they always go for 6-0 blinding an enemy Resto Druid, and Shredded is always there for the Hodge, and they actually didn't have that to happen. And it looks like they're almost not playing like themselves right here. I wanted them to get that clean setup. Now Yosk actually gets the outplay, gets the War Banner and that Hodge Polymorph. I mean, they're not getting the amount of momentum they need, but they still have a very strong damage window onto CMD. They might force force this Ice Block here. They have the DR Sheep. They're actually killing with the DR with the Smoke Bomb. This might kill him. He might die. They get the Ice Block at the last minute, and there was still I mean, that's just crazy. That is a scary setup onto CMD. I can't believe that. They didn't even have a clean go from Gameface, but their amount of damage in this game is just tremendous, and they have not been counter-pressured whatsoever from Order. And I think this all comes down to Shredded swapping to that Relentless.
Yeah, Shredded with that Relentless going to deny a lot of counter. Oh, Oxygen actually gets put into a Sheep right now. Kidney shot onto CMD. This could very well be the game if they're able to chain the crowd control. Unable to right now. Shredded pushing in for the Hammer of Justice. They're trying to get another Sheep, but a nice counter spell from CMD. Going to deny that extra CC that they needed to get the kill right there. But Gameface right now, they are ahead by quite a big margin due to getting that Ice Block from CMD. So, you know, this is going to be looking like the Gameface pulls back.
Cooldown lead for Gameface. Mana roughly even at this point, so we would say that the advantage is the Gameface on the whole here in game number 2. Shredded stunned up. CMD trying to follow up. Can't get it, unfortunately. Cheesy Nacho looking to retreat downstairs. Oxygen looking to regenerate mana and maybe build a lead in that regard, but he's leaving his mage behind with no ice block. That's dangerous business. Coming back to save him with Ironbark, but Shredded moves across midfield. Will he be punished for this? No. Dodging the polymorph by wrapping around the corner, nailing the Hammer of Justice. Unfortunate timing there, moving too far forward and unable to polymorph Shredded. Shredded breaking out of the stun, connecting a big heal. CMD now on the back foot. Limited defense, this could be the cauterize, triggering if Gameface can stay on target. Disarm about to end, and 6-0 is going to let it rip. Vendetta now available. I'm surprised to not just see him immediately pop it despite not having crowd control. There's no real cooldown to answer it, but he is being crowd controlled. Shredded as Avenging Crusader. Big push here from Gameface to take game 2. Dampening has just started. CMD blinking back to Oxygen. Innervate active, buying him some free healing, but now we see Cheesy Nacho blinking in for a Dragon's Breath, trying to find the poly, but Oxygen pre-shape shifts. War Banner on the Hammer of Justice. Beautifully done by Yosk. That War Banner was high value, but they finally do snipe it up, but Shredded pre-sacrifices the polymorph for the big push. Nice moves by Shredded, playing this on his toes right now to push forward for the kill. Ironbark has now subsided. Another good opportunity for Gameface to net themselves a cauterize. CMD stunned up, Meteor comes crashing in. Oxygen on the run here, trying to avoid Cheesy Nacho, maybe sit down for a drink. He's been constantly trying to, but unable. Shredded charging in, but getting feared away into a polymorph. 3 versus 1 on Cheesy Nacho. This is the moment for Order to strike back, but the temporal shield timing may just be too good from Cheesy Nacho. Shredded now in a Stormbolt. Can they push through? Can Order swing this in their own favor now? They were playing from behind, but perhaps they can do it. Cauterize triggered, and Ice Block has been forced, and this is anyone's game.
This is just looking crazy. Both teams have been back and forth this entire time. Cheesy Nacho comes out of the Ice Block prematurely, tries to get that extra damage onto CMD, but Oxygen gets the pre-Ironbark. CMD gets the pre-temp on that go. Nothing is happening now. They're getting the polymorph onto Cheesy Nacho, stopping that pressure. I think they're going to set right back up onto him. Honestly, at this point, I think this could be a mana game. We are at 11% dampening. Oxygen and Shredded, they're both on such low mana, and I don't think they have the opportunity to go for a drink for either of them. A Sneak gets sniped out from CMD onto Shredded. Cheesy Nacho has nothing. They have absolutely no breaks for crowd control. They have no cooldowns. Shredded has the Avenging Wrath coming back up right now. He's trying to get that extra damage onto CMD, who has no Ice Block. They get the Smoke Bomb, trying to keep that extra pressure. Vanish from 6-0, getting the Growth, getting the DR Cheap Shot. They're trying to connect onto CMD. He has no way to escape. He has this Cauterize available, though. They use the Rallying Cry from Yoski. Oxygen, Ironbarks, but there's the full Hodge. Even if they don't get the ring, I think this is it. Bob comes out. He spell steals the bot from CMD. He's trying to stay in this game, but he could get his Cauterizer proc. Solo, War Banner. He has the Cauterizing Spleed. He's just trying to stay alive. Ironbark on himself, but Oxygen, no mana. Do they turn it around onto Cheesy Nacho? I don't know. He could die here. He could die here. This is it, 50%. He gets the Invis. He has the Temp Shield. He actually survives, and now Shredded. He has his sacrifice back. I don't think Cheesy Nacho is going to die, but CMD has the Ice Block back up. There's the clone. I don't know. He just needs to live. There's the sack. He gets the sack right in time.
But CMD has a block now. CMD, they could turn this around even though they got no mana. He's going into the Ice Block. This is going to be the final push of the game for either side. Vendetta available. 6-0 could hard carry the team. Yosk can hard carry Order. Who's going to make it out here? It's going to be a race straight down to the wire. Shredded stunned up, breaking out, charging forward. Hammer of Justice lands in. I think with that hammer slam down, it could be a cross kill actually. Both mages in the most trouble at this point in the match. Shredded trying to catch some heal, stunned up. CMD looking like he is going to fall first. Can Yosk finish Cheesy Nacho by himself, leaping over? No mana remaining for Shredded, but Holy Lights come crashing in, and Gameface have done it. They're going to tie this up 1-1, but what a nail biter.
That was such a nail bite. It really came down to the wire. I mean, 5 extra seconds from Order. If they were to stay alive, they could have easily won that game, but well played from Gameface. Sticking to their guns, playing that Rogue Mage Paladin, and just, you know, having a more solid game, being able to create tons of pressure, getting the Cauterize and the Ice Block even very early on, which was able to sway momentum in their favor, force CMD to play very defensive. And I would like to actually shout at Yosuke. I feel like his defensive plays, especially with the War Banner and the Disarm, was saving them time and time again whilst they had no Ice Block.
Well, it says a lot if Yas can impress Joe Fernandez, BlizzCon champion warrior. Well, it's not going to be 4-0 here. Gameface slam back with a quick little slap in Order's face. Game number 2 on Dalaran. But if we move to larger maps where the Druid will be more able to drink, does it still occur? Can they still win?
Yeah, I think honestly, not even in the drinks on the larger maps. I think just the Druid can get like a better position on those bigger maps, and he can kite away from getting hodged. And that's something that you'll see players like Cubsy and Gorecki, both of them, when they fight Rogue Mage Paladin, if you give them a big map, what they do is they just try to stay as far away as possible, and they deny the Paladin the Hodge, and that is the key for these Rogue Mage Paladin setups, is getting that Hodge. And that's actually a reason why, with RM Pal, generally, it falls off in comparison to Frost Mage Assassination Wrestler Druid, because in that scenario, you're always consistent. Even if you're not getting your CC, you have that strong, you know, you're kind of tanky. You have so many options on how to play. But RM Pally, they need to get those Hodge setups. So with those bigger maps, really solid Wrestler Druids, they will position better. And I think that is what will benefit them. Not even just the drinks, it's actually just denying the crowd control chain.
I think on the smaller maps, it might be wise for Order to change to maybe a cleave composition.
I mean, they could if they feel like it's better into the Rogue Mage Paladin, but at the same time, I mean, they nearly won that game. They won the first game as the Warrior Mage Druid, so I don't really mind them sticking to that composition. The one critique I would say, though, is if CMD should be playing Frost in this matchup. I mean, they'll lack the burst damage as the Fire Mage, so it could be harder to get a kill, but having 2 Ice Blocks and the snares on the Rogue, they might be able to just kind of win that attrition and win that dampening game better.
Yeah, I think either go Frost, but also there's one thing that we've actually seen the mages that play Warrior Mage, they actually opt out of playing Greater Pyroblast, and I think if they just go for the setups where they're actually just doing the goes and they don't even waste the time going for the Greater Pyro, where they're just tanking damage, instead they just play only for the instant damage as Fire Mage. I think with Warrior Mage together, that plays very well, and that is something that Maro did, and I mean, most of us, I think a lot of people could say he has strong contention for being the best mage in the world. So I think that is a valid strategy. I think dropping the Greater Pyro, or like you said, playing for the Frost, but it seems they have more experience playing this comp with Fire.
Yeah.
I think the Fire Starter build gets some cooldown reduction on the combustion, more just instant cast in-your-face damage, because it's really unlikely that we're going to see a Greater Pyroblast when there's a Rogue and a Mage that can shut you down. A Mage can just polymorph you immediately and stop that cast. I'm not the biggest fan of the Greater Pyroblast, but it seems to be something that the teams just like playing. Perhaps it could be impactful here. Game number 3, we're all tied up, and we're going to the Sands of Tolvaron. A great map pick here by Order. Large open playing field for Oxygen to get better positionings and avoid Shredded. Then Shredded, when he looks to cross the desert, will be exposed to a plethora of crowd control. But oh no, devastating start here for Order. Oxygen has been sapped and unable to heal. CMD has been isolated, but Yosk is there with a beautiful War Banner, reducing the cooldown of the duration of the Hammer of Justice, and now allowing Oxygen to freely trinket a blind. But Vendetta had not been popped. I wonder if Gameface can switch to the Druid. Do you think this is a viable option, Joe?
I mean, it might be a viable option. We saw earlier kind of do that, but I feel like they'll just tunnel down the Mage, try and do that strategy instead, since it worked for them last game, and I don't think they really need to risk it too much, but maybe 6-0 will do that. It will just depend how the game goes. Right now, ooh, nice blink though coming out from CMD to get out of that smoke box, get away from it, and keep his HP sustained from Oxygen right now. They forced that trinket with the blind earlier as well, so, you know, they could get a lot of crowd control on him. At the same time, though, Cheesy Nacho taking a lot of pressure, but with Shredded being this far away from Oxygen, they're going to deny the Hammer of Justice, but at the same time, Oxygen won't be able to get Cyclones onto Shredded, and it could be easier for Gameface to sustain themselves.
I don't know. I think the Cyclones aren't that important, but that Greater, he gets a double Greater Pyro from Cheesy Nacho, and that forces the Ice Block, so they actually have to make sure that they're still stopping stopping this from happening. CMD, he was actually really close to the pillar, so I think that was a mistake. I think he actually could have positioned himself so he could have blindsided that Greater Pyro. Kind of ended up eating it there, but now Cheesy Nacho, he's the one who's getting pressure. He has the temporal shield up for this go, but he can use that about 50%. Not going to get too much going. Gets locked on Frost, I believe that is, and now he's not going to be able to get anything. Gets bashed here, DR. Really, Cheesy Nacho's in trouble, but I don't think Aquilon's going to get forced. Shredded actually swapped out of using that melee wings, and it's like he's taking all the suggestions that we said. I think this is so much better on this map. Maybe he just did it because it's Tolvir as well. I think that'll make Shredded much more mana efficient, and that's going to also even things out. Like Sid was saying, oh, Tolvir, Druid can get more drinks, but I think, I don't know. I think that overall, I would say Order still has the benefit in this matchup. I just think CMD needs to be careful to not get Greater Pyro, because that's also going to be a key in this map where you can get Greater Pyros off easily using that Flame Cannon. You can get them from 55 yards away, so he could safely do this as long as he's in combat, and that is just so scary. Combined with that Shimmer, really hard to avoid, so you have to make sure that you are near pillars.
Well, despite being the map pick for Order, they're playing from behind with that ice block only 3 minutes away. They're making a decent push here onto Cheesy Nacho to try and tie up that ice block game if they can get any crowd control, but they're pushing forward with not much defense of their own. Instant blind on the Trinket. Nice reaction by Sixo. This could net their team the win here on Tolvaron. Can they keep pushing through?
Nice
Beautiful disarm. Denying any further follow-up from Sixo. War Banner placed as well. Yask totally shutting that down. Buying time for Oxygen to pull himself back into the fight. Shredded respecting this push, using his Divine Shield to break crowd control and heal, but Yask is just tearing in despite Shredded's attempts. He does finally manage to stabilize. CMD on the back foot. Shredded more valuing the ice block than his own Divine Shield, as he is not anticipating himself to be the target. Vendetta available. Ironbark not for 7, but Shredded's in a poly. Gameface may need to focus on defense before this Vendetta push. Let's see if they can get it done here in the near future. CMD stunned up. Vendetta available. Shadow Step kick. Nice setup by Sixo. Putting the team in his back pocket right now. Temp Shield soaking the hit. Disarm denying the follow-up. Should bouncing CMD back for now. Oxygen gets counterspelled. Cheesy Nacho with a cheeky play. Potentially getting the Cauterize off the back of it. Cauterize triggers. Big damage in on CMD. He is on the run. Wrapping around the corners. Austin 6-0 playing insane right now. Looking for the kill. Can he find it by himself? Shredded moves over for the follow-up. CMD in desperation trying to blink to safety, but there is no defense. I don't think there is a safe place for him, but Cheesy Nacho is getting soloed. It's not going to go down. Cheesy Nacho blocking in time. Yas can't carry. CMD will fall. And now Gameface in the lead.
That kidney, that was huge. So Resto Druids, they get their strongest healing. If they can get Soul of the Forest up, they have full hots, and they can get a regrowth. Sixo saw that. So he has Ironbark also. He has every modifier. That regrowth would have topped him. But what he did is he gets that kidney, and they give that time for that half Hodge. No recovery whatsoever. That secured the game. Sixo had such great game sense, realizing that it was worth it for him to give up the kidney onto CMD because Shredded was far away and Sixo was right on top of them. Going for that play made the game, and it's actually turned around. Gameface, they were down on map picks. They've got the swing here. Oxygen already told us that if that happens, we could say that he is bad. So, I mean, we're going to say that. I mean, that's my friend, but I mean, I got to roast him now that he lost.
I mean, that was probably their best map, and they've lost it. This is the best of 7. We're going to see a lot of maps. There's not that many big ones. So if they run out of big ones on their own map pick, I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to have to change composition?
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe the Demon Hunter Death Knight could come back, but Rogue Mage Paddy could. I mean, Gameface just have such a strong Rogue Mage Paddy right now. I think that's the devastation of it. So Warrior Mage Druid is good against it. I really think that the Frost Mage might be a little bit better. Just in this situation where you're playing with the Druid, I feel like it's very hard for Oxygen to keep him top when he plays that Fire Mage. So, and like you said, we're on Ash Remains full now, so Order have to win this one to stay in this best of 7 well.
Well, grand final time here, everybody tuning in. This is the last series we will see before BlizzCon. Only one of these teams can claim the last spot there at the World Finals stage to earn an achievement that is considered of the highest regard. The highest achievement you can truly get in World of Warcraft PvP, the title of BlizzCon champion. You can tell that Sixo wants it off the back of that game on Tolvaron. Play after play after play, nailing the kill there. And now they just need 2 more. And they'll do it. They'll be going to BlizzCon. Featherfeet will get his revenge on his former team as they booted him off of his roster from last year. and it would be quite the story. No changes in compositions from these teams, which means it may be unlikely for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, I think that it just seems like both teams are going to try and stick to their guns. I feel like Order may swap if they lose this game, then they'll probably swap compositions. It kind of depends how you lose as well. When you have these close games, you're kind of thinking, oh, we just needed to play a little bit better, and we maybe would have won. But if you get just utterly destroyed, then you're just going to be like, okay, we're going to have to
Like I
swap
did
composition.
earlier
Yeah.
by Dilly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insecurity. No, but what I'm actually thinking is,
Hey, you got booted off too.
nah, man. Anyways, okay.
Go hug your
want
pillow.
no, I want to
Go
go to the
hug your
point.
pillow.
Let's be professional, Sid. Okay. I think if Oxygen goes back to playing Relentless, he did that the first game and they actually won. The other 2 games he played Gladiator's Medallion. It does seem really risky to have that, because then you don't have the trinket for the blind. But I think that Order, they already do such a good job defensively together to deny them from getting the follow-ups on the blind anyways, that I think that he'd actually be absolutely fine going for Relentless, and that way the reduced crowd control for the entire time, it'll make it so much harder for Cheesy Nacho to get polymorphs. And if they don't have to be as worried about stopping polymorphs, they can stop Greater Pyroblast more. What's happening, they have to heal so much. Cheesy Nacho, he's able to freely cast these Greater Pyros because they're not able to stop them as much. And then what happens is that Oxygen has to use globals, and he gets caught out of form, and then he ends up getting hit with a full polymorph, and then that lasts so much longer, and then they have no out for that. And it just makes them fall further and further behind. So I think if they actually go for the Relentless, they're able to maintain the momentum that they once had before. I think when you're fighting Fire Mages, you just need Relentless in general. I don't like that Oxygen still has his Gladiator's Medallion. I think that would be a good adaptation in this matchup, but we need to see if they still change anything else in this matchup. Maybe they just go in more confidently.
Here we go. Ashmane's fall. Gameface in the lead, and this is another devastating start for Order. A sap on your healer. It's probably the worst way to start against a rogue mage composition. Yask is doing his best to try and make this bad situation not so bad, and he's actually managed to do a pretty decent job dismantling that start for 6-0, but now 6-0 is no longer crowd controlled. You can tell that he is letting it rip. CMD hovering on very low health. The Gladiator safeguard absorption, the only thing keeping him alive right now. Shredded in the back line, tries to pre-sacrifice, anticipating some crowd control, but doesn't actually land anything on it, which means one of his most important cooldowns in the matchup will be out of the way. Shredded charging, looking for a stun. Oxygen max ranging him. Perfect positioning there, but they managed to bait Warbandit regardless from Yask, and even without the crowd control, CMD is feeling the pain.
Yeah, and we already see the trinket outright come into the blind from Oxygen, so I actually do like that trinket choice just because of the blind, but he has to have it for the blind, which he didn't have it on the Tolvir on the second time he had his trinket. Now, they're going to try and press the Cheesy Nacho. Nice sheep onto the wings coming out from CMD, but they need to pressure Cheesy Nacho. Every time, he just has this temporal shield. That's going to make him recover, and one thing that Oxygen needs to do, he needs to chain these cyclones onto Shredded. He does it now, so he can pressure Cheesy Nacho a lot. Maybe proc the Cauterize. They actually get the safeguard instead. Nice cyclones. That's what exactly we need to see coming out from Oxygen. But now, full Hammer of Justice onto him in normal form. Can they get the crowd control? No. Nice counter spell coming out from CMD once again. He has been such a good defensive playmaker for his team, Dilly.
Yeah, I completely agree. CMD, I think every single day he just does things that impress when it comes to that defensive play. I mean, I think their strategy just needs to just improve together as a team. It's mostly the offense, I think, that is the issue. Their defense is actually on point. I mean, I love that last go. They did fantastic with that. And it's just going to be key that they get as many setups as possible on the Cheesy Nacho. They just need to get more pressure, because what's happening ever since Shredded went Relentless, they get their crowd control and they don't do too much. They need to accomplish more with it, but they still do a fantastic job at surviving.
The problem is that Oxygen isn't training, I mean, in Tolverone, he's not training the Cyclones too much on the Shredded, but saying that, he is just dropping low. Nice fear coming out. He's super low on HP. Counterspell onto Shredded right now, forcing the Core Rise and block. The pressure from Order on this Warrior Mage Druid is absolutely nuts. But now, full sheep on Oxygen. CMD, half HP, pops that temporal shield just before the kidney shot, but they're chaining the crouch on Oxygen. Shredded might have the Hammer of Justice, he does, but it's half. CMD hanging in by the skin of his teeth, just about lives. Oxygen uses that Iron Bar, gets Cyclone to Cheesy Nacho of high health during the Blessing of Sacrifice. This is looking great for Order.
Avenging Wrath available. Shredded should bounce Cheesy Nacho back to full health here. pretty quickly. And then when he does, they can do a big push. 6-0 setting up again, maybe for an ice block with that shadow step kick, taking some plays out of Peekaboo's playbook, looking to close this out in the APAC region. Pressure is still on. Oxygen struggling to heal, even whilst not being crowd controlled. Yaska's been trying to carry the team on his back on that Arms Warrior, but Shredded just continuing to deny him with solid heals in the back line. Yaska moving forward, Shredded lands a Hammer of Justice. There's the Polymorph. Ooh. This is trouble for CMD if they can connect, but CMD is doing a great job avoiding 6-0. Max ranging in the back line. Now blinking forward, trying to secure crowd control, faking out 6-0's kick, but they have the kidney shot and a smoke bomb. Greater Pyro blinked right into the face of CMD. Sick combo play between 6-0 and Cheesy Nacho, but ultimately not netting them of anything significant. Cheesy Nacho now behind on ice blocks.
I think the big thing in this game, at least, is they're not eating as many greater power blasts as the last time. Now we see CMD trying to position defensively. Actually gets hit with that counter spell, but during that lockout, they go for that full fear. This is great. CMD might be able to follow it up with the sheep, and Shredded reacts to this. He uses his divine shield, but now he has nothing to top up Cheesy Nacho. No safeguard, no cauterize. How is he going to live? There's the divine favor. Barely tops off Cheesy Nacho. He has a nice little absorb on him, but they need to maintain this momentum. CMD, he still has his ice box, so he can stay in here. Shredded's bash. Did they get the clone? No follow-up CC, but still, Cheesy Nacho's at half. Yas, though, he's going to get Ring of Frosted here. Ooh, War Banners that Ring of Frost on the Nova. That is beautiful. Now the pressure is just staying on the Cheesy Nacho, and Shredded just can't recover. He has Divine Favor coming right back up, though, so he should be safe. Has the Avenging wrap up. He should be fine. Cheesy Nacho is good. They have Blessing of Sacrifice available. Now we just need to see how CMD and Oxygen are going to push in for this next go. It looks like Oxygen's kind of running around in this cap form. Maybe he wants to go for a resell, but I think he's just going to re-hot them, try to go in offensively. They have that full sheep. Cheesy Nacho's in trouble. There's nothing available. Sheep on the wings. Shredder won't be able to heal him. He doesn't have anything. Gets the temp shield. Saves himself. No sacrifice used.
Oh, nice Dragon's Breath right there on the charger. He really wanted to get that Hammer of Justice onto Oxygen. Instead, getting put into more crowd control himself. They're pressuring Cheesy Nacho like crazy, using the counter spell onto him as well. But he's got the wings proc right there. Gonna keep him nice and steady. And I actually don't think I like that wall banner play from Yosuke. Yes, he made the Ring of Frost half on himself, but now he won't have it from Oxygen. And Oxygen's forced to play defensive right now, so he can't push it for the Cyclones in order for them to get their wins. So I think it could be a very tricky situation. And Cheesy Nacho, he only needs to survive 50 more seconds to get that ice block back. And then Gameface are going to be looking very strong.
Oh, dicey situation. Shredded with a clutch sacrifice, breaking his Ring of Frost, and now securing crowd control for his team. But CMD shuts down Cheesy Nacho with a polymorph. But a sap from 6-0. Beautiful crowd control from 6-0. I mean, he is absolutely on fire. You could tell that he wants to go to BlizzCon. That is going to net his team an ice block as he pulls back to the pillar, looking for a re-stealth. Vendetta and Blind both available. Big power play cooldowns for the Assassination Rogue. He could easily put the team in on his back and carry them to victory here. 13 more seconds to Cheesy Nacho's ice block, and I would say that it is looking better and better for Gameface as this game moves forward.
You're absolutely right, Sid. Gameface, they are in the position to win. They are using the Maldex, trying to get that strong go onto CMD, but he should be okay right now. Auction using that Iron Bark, but I mean, Gameface, they're in a winning position, but no, Shredded taking a lot of damage right now. There's that Ring of Frost. Cheesy Nacho in trouble, but he has the ice block available. I want to see that counter pressure. There's that sheep onto Oxygen.
Oh.
The ice block gets used. This is bad. Gameface, they were in a winning position, but now Order immediately started to counter pressure them on their go. I like when other mage teams do that to each other.
Oh.
There's that low Cyclone onto Cheesy Nacho. This is huge from Oxygen. Hodge comes out. There's no follow-up because he was Cyclone. I mean, this is just a little bit uncoordinated from Gameface. I didn't think they expected that. CMD, though, he has no ice block. Can he full sheep? CMD could go down. He has nothing. No cauterized Maldex come out. This is it. CMD surely will go down. There's the sheep. CS onto CMD. Iron Bark at the last second. CMD, how are you going to live? 1%, 2%. He lives. Cauterizes back up at the nick of time. He tries to run, but no. Oxygen, how are you going to keep him alive? He's trying. Trank for a second, giving him the extra hot. There's the full Hodge. There's the sheep. They stop it. They stop the
Cheesy
CMD.
Nacho!
Oh, yes. Cheesy Nacho. He might go down. There's the Bob available. He has cauterized back up too, though. I don't know if he's going to die. Bob comes out. CMD. Back in the back. It's fault. Yes, last, it's CMD.
No, it's not over yet. It's not over yet.
Nacho, how are you going to
Dragon's Breath on 10%.
No, he's kicked. It's a 2v2. Is it a 2v2?
Bubble.
No.
Oh,
He's alive.
Oh, he's alive. He is actually alive. I'm not alive, but he's alive. That is actually unbelievable. Gameface pull it together in the final seconds and move to match point. And you know what? both big maps, they're out of the pool now.
Yeah.
We can't go to Toveron again. We can't go to Ashamane's Fall again. Order have now lost on both of their best maps. What happens when they lose on or when they play on their worst?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, these games are so incredibly close. I mean, it's 3-1 right now for Gameface, and they are on match point. But, you know, Rogue Mage Paladin is just, you know, it's going to be a very difficult composition for Warrior Fire Mage Resta Druid in order to win. And, you know, they were so close. The scoreline, I mean, it should really be level. It's unbelievably close.
These teams are, you couldn't ask for a better grand final, really. This is the last series we're going to have before BlizzCon in the Arena World Championship Series. And it's looking like Gameface are going to be qualifying at this point. They've won on both map picks now from Order. And the best maps are out of the way.
I would not have expected this to happen. I didn't expect it to look like this. It seems so one-sided, but granted, that's only the score. I mean, we could see that was very close to a cross kill. I mean, there were so many times where the Mages is like, oh my god, we could finally kill him. He has nothing left, and then he just lives just long enough for either a Cauterize to rotate, a Safeguard to rotate, or rotate back up, or an Ice Block. And usually where we're seeing things get too scary is when they have to Cauterize and Ice Block at the same time. Usually you want to space those out, and sometimes that's just from the mistake of just not blocking earlier, and you know, they have a Cauterize that's maledicted, and then they're just in too much trouble.
I mean, but fair enough. I feel like in these kind of matchups, whoever can like pull off the greedy plays will kind of win. If they can hold on to the Ice Block, if they can hold on to these defensive cooldowns. So I really don't blame them for it, but like you said, if they overlap these defensive cooldowns at the end, then that just all of a sudden sways the match into the enemy's favor.
Every single game is going down to the wire between these two Australia and New Zealand Titans. This is the APAC Finals. Only one of them can go to BlizzCon, and we'll find out after this commercial break. Match point in the APAC Grand Finals. One more win, one more round. Can Sixo put his team in his back pocket for that one game and get them all the way to BlizzCon for a shot at the world title, for a shot at that BlizzCon championship? My name is Sitsubitis Compson, joined on the desk by Joe Fernandez and Dilly. It has been an exciting weekend, a lot of surprises, a lot of impressive teams improving over the years in this region. They've certainly leveled up since last time around, and either one of these teams could take it to the best of the best from China, LATAM, North America, and Europe on that BlizzCon stage. We've got the comps. We know where the showdown is going to be happening, and it's time to draw. Who's going to take it?
I mean, I said Order. I still have faith in them, but it's going to be a lot harder now. They don't have the big maps anymore, so it's going to be harder to avoid those Hammer of Justices. And Gameface, they've been looking very solid as the Rogue Mage Paladin, and it, in my opinion, is a slightly favored match against the Warrior Mage Druid. I feel like the Warrior Mage Druid has to outplay the Rogue Mage Paladin in order to win, and it's Oxygen and Yosuke playing the odds.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even think Yassi's Warrior is the issue, because I think it's like his main, like, I think he plays really well, and you're pointing out the things he's doing. Honestly, I don't even, God, I feel bad saying this, but I think it's Oxygen because Druid is actually, that's like his fourth alt healer, okay? So he's not as experienced with it. And the thing is, when we saw Wildcard Gaming beating other Rogue Mage Paladins, you have Looney, Blizzo, and Maro, who are the best of the best on their class in the entire world. And I think that's what makes the difference in this matchup. And it can be very difficult. And the thing is, Gameface, they are playing very well. They are well practiced against Order because these teams have fought each other a lot. And even Blizzo and Maro, they were catching teams off guard. They hadn't really played that much. That was like something they picked up on stage. So that's where I think that Gameface, they're in the winning position. Sixo, he's playing very well. Unfair of you to say that the step kick is a play out of Peekaboo's book, because it looks like Sixo's going to BlizzCon, and we know that that Peekaboo is not going to BlizzCon.
Well, if he wins, it's going to be Sixo's playbook. Now, if I see Peekaboo do it.
No, right. There's no chance of Peekaboo going to BlizzCon. No. It's not a compliment. It's actually insulting, saying that he is one. First of all, step kick.
It's a compliment,
everyone does
Dilly.
that, okay? But second of all.
Are you upset, Dilly?
No, I'm actually not that upset.
Do you want a hug?
No, I just want to
hug your pillow, because I'm not giving you one.
We can hug, but I mean, I just want to give love to Sixo, okay? I don't want to downplay. He's
I am giving him love.
No,
I'm literally saying he's putting the team in his pocket.
I'm telling you, from the player point of view, when I hear that, it's like if I were to hear, wow, Dilly landed a trap. Take it to play out of Jellybean's book.
It is. It is.
No. Everyone does that, okay? The play out of someone else's book is when they do something clutch, okay? When they do something insane, not what is expected of your class, okay? That's when it's something special. When Jellybeans lives with
timing
Turtle,
of these shadow step kicks is something special.
no, look, if I live with Turtle, that's
Anyone
a play
can
out
shadow
of
step
Jellybeans'
kick. It's
book.
about when.
No.
And he's doing it only when someone like Peekaboo would do it.
No, but Peekaboo is not here. Peekaboo was casting
I
the
can
last
press
tournament.
shadow step
I'm
kick
casting
and
this
it not do
tournament
anything.
because both of us
It's very
cannot
important
play.
about the timing.
Okay,
And that's what's
we're
unique
about to
and
get back in this
special.
game. Okay, I'm taking a play out of Joe's book. I'm going to be mature and drop it.
Mature. Those
Oh,
don't belong
yep.
together with
Gates are
Dilly.
opening.
Here we go. It's match point,
you, Sid.
everybody. APAC Finals. Tigers Peak, Shredded, Cheesy Nacho, and 6 on the side of Gameface in the lead. And one more win will net them a spot at BlizzCon. Order on the opposite side. Our reigning APAC champions have to win 3 games in a row. And it's not going to be on their territory. It's not going to be on home turf. They're going to have to do it on small, close-quartered combat maps. Can they pull it off? 6-0, spinning and dancing and waiting for his team to get in position for the initial attack. We've seen these games start with Oxygen and a sap. He needs to make sure that doesn't happen here. 6-0 moving in, stunning up Yosk. CMD going to be the target. Greater Power Blast shut down by Yosk. Smoke Bomb dropped. Big power play by 6-0. Maybe trying to bait some cooldowns with it. Not finding anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, nothing they found. They actually sneaked in a stunt cyclone early on from Oxygen onto Shredded, but again, no chain crowd control coming out. They need to get those sheeps chained with the cyclones if they want to get enough CC in order to take down Cheesy Nacho, but they got rid of the temporal shield. There is an opening there. Oxygen actually choosing to play with that relentless talent now. He gets put into the blind half sap right now. Shredded, look for that full hammer of justice. CMD dropping lower and lower. Nice sphere, but it gets bopped off. CMD so low on HP. The Iron Bark just about comes in the nick of time, trying to save that cauterize from being procced, which they desperately need later. So a good hold. Iron Bark comes out. Now, Sheep onto Shredded, but I believe it actually gets pre-sacrificed, so well played by Shredded to deny the Sheep on himself. Gameface once again looking pretty damn good.
Relentless, though, that's going to pay off because they made it without getting cauterized in that one go with Blind, with Vanish, with Sap. That was a full-on commit onto Oxygen. CMD, they used everything on him, and they did not get his Ice Block. They did not get his Cauterize. They did not get his Safeguards. So CMD, he's safe. And this is why I actually think the Relentless pick is better, because now all the other goes are so much harder for them to get. We could actually see Cheesy Nacho is struggling to get more consistent CC. That entire chain, it wasn't Cheesy Nacho getting it. It was only 6-0, and it was shredded together. Now Cheesy Nacho is getting pressured, getting locked out, trying to use that Invis in the middle of combat for that cheeky play, but there's that free Iron Bark from Oxygen onto CMD, and this Relentless makes them just sit back. They have the counter pressure onto Cheesy Nacho. There's no CC at this time. CMD will stay safe. There's the Dragon's Breath. No follow-up Sheep, though, but they are staying in here. Looks like CMD wants to get this Greater Pyro Blast. Doesn't end up getting it on Cheesy Nacho, but he is still in trouble. He's blindsiding, doing what he can. Shredded is not topping him. He doesn't have his wings. He doesn't have his sacrifice. I think Cheesy Nacho is in a ton of trouble. There's that full Sheep right now. The Temporal Shield's fading. They need to connect onto Cheesy Nacho. He's trying to do what he can. They go for the counter go. Kidney onto CMD, but ooh, he actually Sheeps into the Reflect to get himself healed up. That was actually very good from Cheesy Nacho.
Even still at half health, Shredded gets his Divine Favor sharpened bladed at the last second. Yosk setting up for a power play with the intimidating shout. Blazing Barrier needs to be enough to keep him going here. Otherwise, Cauterize and Ice Block could be necessary. 6-0's in a clone. Shredded's interrupted. Cheesy Nacho in a 3-on-1. How is he going to stay alive? He's not going to be able to hold on to the Ice Block. And this is a huge lead for Order. They might just close it out here if Yosk can stay on target. Oxygen pre-Iron Barks the blinds. Beautifully done by Order on match point. They are playing almost a perfect game.
Yeah, Order are indeed. They read that play like a book with that free Iron Bark, but it might not be enough. CMD still dropping very low. Doesn't have the Temporal Shield. Getting incredibly low on HP. Nice Dragon's Breath defensively, though. Still has the Ice Block, still has the Core Ice, whereas Cheesy Nacho doesn't have either. Shredded does have that Blessing of Sacrifice, and that is their last line of defense for a while. Order need to pull the trigger, but he's calling a Kidney Bomb. Not really surmounting to too much pressure, though, right now. Oxygen is going to stabilize right now. Counter spell onto CMD. There's the Storm Bolt to Shredded. They need to get the crowd control chains, otherwise this Storm Bolt kind of just goes to waste. And Shredder's just going to keep him alive right now. CMD trying to push it for a Sheep, but excellent position coming in from Shredded.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we want to see them just trying to get it go at this point. When they have that Blessing of Sacrifice being used, you want to try to get as offensive as possible. Now they go for that. They get the Sheeps onto Auction. Kenny's onto CMD, but CMD is not top. He's not going down whatsoever. There's that Iron Bar from Oxygen in that small gap. CMD stays full health, and Gameface, they have to be scared. Shredded is CC on his biggest healing cooldown right now. Cheesy Nacho line of sighting, doing a great job kiting. Gets reflected on his polymorph though. This is gonna let Yas connect right back onto Cheesy Nacho. Stormbolt goes out onto Shred, but still, both these mages are topping off at this point. The thing to note though is the Gameface is actually losing on mana. I mean, they're having a much harder time getting this defensive pressure. I think Oxygen got quick little cheeky drink at this point. They're going for that Kenny AD being Yas, but they're just not getting any CC on Oxygen. He's just able to kind of just sit back, not get CC'd whatsoever. I think this comes down to the Relentless, that they only have to be worried about one major go from that blind. Otherwise, Cheesy Nacho is just not getting anything onto Oxygen. This is giving Order a much more dominating position in this game.
I mean, Order are in total control here as we move into dampening. Shredded's trying to make a move, stunning up Oxygen. Cheesy Nacho needs to get in position to land a Ring of Frost. Does he have the time? He does not. Cheesy Nacho denied. Yask playing out of his mind throughout this series in terms of disruption and now getting pressure for his team. Polymorph lands on the Shredded. This could be the end of the game as Order look to punch back. Cheesy Nacho stunned up. The crowd control continues. They need a clone, but Oxygen's blinded and polyed and unable to. War Banner snipes the poly, reducing it significantly, opening up Oxygen potentially in the near future for Cyclone. Shredded, he is going to be sweaty, but he is going to be thankful that his Divine Shield is now available. He can use that to escape crowd control and save Cheesy Nacho, giving his team another opportunity to push back, but they are running out of mana. Full polymorph has landed. This could easily be the Divine Shield if they can get on target. Cheesy Nacho interrupted. Frost over and Yask. Yask breaking out with that escape artist. The Gnome Ratio playing its weight in gold right now. Oxygen canceling his drink. Stabilizing CMD. CMD trying to control 6-0. Shredded, freeing him up with that Blessing of Freedom. Greater Pyroblast being channeled. Yask dispelled out and able to pummel. Breaking up the potential big burst that could have got a cooldown like Ice Block. Intimidating Shout. Yask once again leading the charge for his team. Cheesy Nacho on defense. Temporal Shield goes off, but now Shredded pre-sacrificing the poly. Well done. This is going to give him an opportunity to cross the map for crowd control. Beautiful poly sniped out from Cheesy Nacho. It is on match point. Order can't afford to throw. Things are starting to look dicey in this position as CMD is still isolated. Dragon's Breath, combustion. Beautiful damage there onto CMD. It will net Gameface and Ice Block, and they are slowly but surely crawling back into this game.
They are crawling back into this game indeed, and Cheesy Nacho in 15 seconds, he's going to get that Ice Block back. This is such trouble. And Gameface, if they win this game, they take their BlizzCon spot and the last spot in this competition. CMD dropping lower and lower. Iron Bark being used. Temporal Shield coming back, but Cheesy Nacho in the meanwhile gets crushed just before he could Ice Block. I blinked for a second. I thought CMD was the one going to die, but Cheesy Nacho goes down and said, an Order stay alive in this competition.
Well then. You can tell Yask wants it.
Yeah.
He was playing phenomenally defensively throughout, but now offensively as well, rounding out his play perfectly here to keep his team alive in the tournament. But now we will be going to the territory and the home turf of Gameface, which is likely to be maps like Hook Point. It's likely to be these close, small quartered maps where the Druid Oxygen will not have a lot of room to breathe.
I mean, I feel like
Good one.
I feel like the map composition is almost. I don't think it comes down to the map. I feel like it really just comes down more to the gameplay, because the close maps just make it more of a bloodbath. It'll be easier to land the Hammer of Justices, but at the same time, it'll be easier for Oxygen to get the Cyclone. So it'll just come down to which team can get that better aggression, which team can stop the goes. So I really like watching this matchup. I think it's an excellent one to watch.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
Joe's right. It's kind of funny. Both times Oxygen has played Relentless, that's actually when they've won. I think it's just really important for him, just because it's so much harder for them to actually get those consistent CC chains. They just need to make sure they can survive the blind goes. Like, if they didn't get that kill, that was really scary, because they were able to force Ice Block without using a blind, so that's when things get really scary. That's the only thing. When you're opting to playing Relentless against Arm Pal, you just make yourself very vulnerable to a blind go, but if you can avoid a blind go, then the other goes are a lot safer for you, whereas when you have the blind, you always trinket the blind, but then it's also easier for them to get more consistent setups on you as the Druid. So it's like Relentless, in a way, just makes it that much easier to breathe, but also they kind of rely on getting that CC on your healer to get that counter pressure on you. anytime an ARM PAL is like ceasing your DPS defensively, like it's just not doing anything for stopping them. They're doing whatever they want. And I mean, CMD at the very end sniped out a greater Pyroblast just to get that kill on the Cheesy Nacho. Surprised us both. None of us thought that amount of burst was going to happen. I mean, it looked like CMD was dead, but you get to see Order. They're adapting. They're keeping themselves calm. I think that was just a viable strategy for them. Even though they had gotten everything and CMD was close to dying, they still were dominating most of that game.
All right, well, we're going to jump in. We're still on match points. Gameface just need to win 1, whereas Order need to win 2, and they will know what composition and know what map we're going to. So this is a huge advantage for Gameface, but Yosk really stepped it up in that game in terms of his disruption and his offense, potentially able to carry the team to victory, very similarly to Blizzo in that regard. It would be awesome to see them go head-to-head at BlizzCon. No, Joe?
Blizzo's just another level. Yosk is really good, don't get me wrong, but Blizzo is just like another level above Warrior. I mean, he's too much of a beast. But
yeah.
Yosuke is playing out of his mind. The reason why they're in this game right now is because of Yosuke as well. He's doing excellent wall banners, excellent defensive fears, and excellent disarms onto Sixo when he's trying to get pressure. Trinkets out of the fit, instant disarms. Those are the kind of mechanical plays you'd love to see a warrior do in order to survive the onslaught of the Rogue Mage Paladin. And like you said, Oxygen choosing that Relentless talent again, but I feel like the only way they can punish it is with a huge swap over onto Oxygen. So I wonder if Gameface would do that, did he?
I don't know. I think they might not go for it. I think it's just a little bit risky because I think even if you go for that all-in swap, it's really hard to do those healer swaps as Rogue Mage when you're fighting another Mage team because CMD will be able to kind of heal them in that scenario, and also they can get a lot of counter pressure. But Shredded, he's taking a ton of damage from that sacrifice and that Light of the Martyr, just trying to keep Cheesy Nacho offensive. And you see him repositioning, staying safe, gets a Divine Favor top himself, and he hasn't been forced to use his wings here, so this is pretty good for them. Combustion comes out from CMD. He's trying to burst down Cheesy Nacho, but it looks like CMD is the one that's taking most of the damage during that go.
All right, both teams, I don't want to say stable, but now Cheesy Nacho in a bit of trouble here. A volatile matchup indeed. Full polymorph landed. Devastation here for Gameface. Placing barrier and Gladiator safeguard need to be enough, but they may get the cauterize regardless. Cheesy Nacho on the run, locked up. Frosty barely able to ice block on 5% health. Big lead though, cooldown wise. What is going on with Oxygen at the moment? Yosk is trying to chop up Sixo and get him off of Oxygen's back, but there's a bit of pressure there, potentially an opening. I mean, they've got room to do an aggressive play like kill the Druid if they want to. Oxygen needs to be ready for this. He's struggling. Sixo staying on target. Ironbark about to fade. Bashing up Sixo, but he's got Vendetta in a kidney shot. Cheesy Nacho in trouble! Big hit there on the Cheesy Nacho. Yas looking to close this out. Shredded repositioning, but there's nothing to answer. Cyclone at 1%. If they can switch any crowd control over, it's game over. Divine Favor gets spell stolen off. Cheesy Nacho in a ton of trouble. Temporal Shield about to go off with 1 second left, but Yosk with the pummel. Yosk playing out of his mind. Absolutely insane. Dispelled out of the Frost Nova, but now into a Dragon's Breath. Shredded's got nothing to work with. We're going all the way to a Game 7. We're tied up 3-3.
Okay, Order were absolute monsters. I take back what I said. Maybe Yosuke can compete with Blizzo after that game. That was a nice pummel coming in over to Shredded, and this all came down to that aggression. I mean, both of them wanted to they pulled the trigger at the same time. Sixo wanted to swap to Oxygen. They landed huge damage onto Cheesy Nacho, but Order got the better exchange, and that's why they won. That's why they're back into this competition, and that's why it's going to go to a best of 7.
I think that's why I was thinking it was bad to hit the Druid, because what happens is as soon as Sixo starts hitting Oxygen, then CMD is free to do whatever. So when he can just set up completely, they just lose that exchange. And it was close for them killing Oxygen, but if they did not just kill him there, I think he just overstayed his welcome at that point.
Yeah.
And that just meant that CMD was able to find this setup. They were able to completely dominate them because because Gameface, they were kind of starting to recover against Order, I think. So that's the downside. When you're fighting another Mage team, if you start going onto their healer, you open yourself up for that risk of getting set up and your own Mage dying.
I don't think we could have asked for a better way to conclude the APAC finals as these teams are battling to the bitter end, the final last moment to qualify to BlizzCon. Can Order, the reigning champions, do it? I mean, they've leveled up. They're channeling their inner wildcard gaming right now on this Warrior Mage Druid, and it looks like shock and awe for the team of Gameface. They tried to mix it up and go after the Druid, but that mix-up is ultimately going to cost them. The Robo-Drome Now, I would love to see a certain map in particular here, moving into Game 7. That would
they'll
round
do
off
it.
my year perfectly.
Yeah, maybe
Put a
they'll do it.
it's even just thinking about it is putting a smile on
I
my
mean,
face.
I'm gonna
If
be
they give it
honest.
to you, I'll let you have it. I mean, I've been trolling you most of today, but
I can
I'm
have
done.
that.
I
yeah,
mean-
no, you can have it, man.
Okay,
To be
good.
fair,
I was
I-
going to take it anyway. You didn't have to give me permission.
Yeah, but I mean, I wasn't just gonna be like annoying like normal.
I mean, it would be a good map pick for Gameface as well. So, I mean, they could get a lot of pressure. And if they want to punish that Relentless, it would be the perfect map. But they're not going to give you that satisfaction. They're going to go to Hook Point instead. How do you feel about this, Super Tease?
Well, it's going to be hook, line, and sinker here
Oh, that's even better.
on
man.
Game 7. Beat them to the fishes. Only one team can advance to the World Finals for a shot at BlizzCon Champion, the most coveted title in World of Warcraft PvP, and it's all going to boil down here on Hook Point, the smallest map, but the biggest bloodbath. It is going to be crazy. You don't want to go anywhere. You got some friends tuning in. Get them in here. Get them in here now, because this is it. This is the last game before BlizzCon. Who is going to represent APAC and try and take it to the world stage against the best from China, the best from LATAM, the best from North America, and the best from Europe. Both of these teams, in my mind, deserve it, but only one can go.
Yep, and it's going to be Gameface or Order, and they're sticking with their guns, playing this the same composition since the very beginning. And we said it would be like this. It'll be back and forth. Again, the map not really going to favor anyone, in my opinion. It's just going to come down to who makes the better offensive decisions, who stops the chain crowd controls that has that better defensive play, who can greed out, and it's just gonna be mayhem, because right now, the last game, this is you win or lose right now. You win or lose that BlizzCon tile, so there's gonna be nerves. There might be misplays, and that could just cost them.
Let's see who takes it here. I can't believe we're going down to Game 7. I was thinking
I
Gameface
actually
just walk
expect
away
no
with
choking. I actually think that both of these teams, they're just going to play their best. I think that they've showed that they're good under pressure for both of them. So I actually could just see this is just going to be an insane game right now. Gates are opening. I want to see this opener. 6-0, just try to get that immediate sap onto CMD. Just running in. Not going to be able to get it, though. Just goes for the kidney DB onto Yossi. Getting that cross CC. Sheep immediately dispelled from Oxy. They're just trying to keep him out of that. They go for that Warrior Fear here. Beautiful setup from Yoss. This is also stopping their go. Now they're locking down CMD, though. 2 kicks onto him. They're going for that CC setup, but Yoss with that War Banner denies another go during that Hodge. But, ooh, at the nick of time, gets that Sheep. Oxygen didn't have those globals, and now CMD is being pressured. Cheesy Nacho, though, in that full polymorph during the sack. I like that idea from CMD, but no, he's getting bursted down so hard. Temporal Shield Maledict's coming to absorb that. They might proc the Cauterize. This could be huge. He's not going to get it. He has to block. Does he block? Cauterize proc. I don't know. Is he going to live? He's alive. He didn't block. I mean, that is very risky, but I think this is where Joe said that you need to be greedy in this situation, and it paid off for CMD.
This is so scary. This is Game 7, and CMD just played a gamble there that I actually can't believe he got away with. Shredded in a polymorph, Cheesy Nacho on the run, temp shield, soaking his health back up. CMD now in trouble, no Iron Bark for 15 seconds, but Shredded in a ring, but it gets War Bannered, I believe, at least on diminishing return. Unfortunately for CMD and the team of Order, that could have been an opportunity to strike back, but now they're going to lose out on it. Both sides still holding on to their ice block, likely the most important cooldown in this matchup. Yas getting crowd controlled, trying to Blade Storm back on the target, but he's going around the corner. Potentially going to be polymorphed, stunning up Shredded, setting up for a poly, but CMD is stunned. He can't get it just yet, trying his best to. Oxygen playing far back, trying to avoid the Hammer of Justice as both teams wait to pull the trigger on the next attack.
Yeah, we can see Cheesy Nacho taking some damage. He's going to have that Temporal Shield very soon, but I actually feel like Order have the better positioning right now. Oxygen running away, trying to avoid the Hammer of Justice. He has a nice position, but if they can get that Ring of Frost, it's going to be devastating. They actually get counterspelled, and then once again, CMD coming to the rescue, and now he secures a full Sheep onto Shredded. If they can crowd control Shredded this whole time, they could easily get the Ice Block. There's the Cyclone that I've been wanting. They need the pressure on the Cheesy Nacho as well. They're unable to chain it. They actually do. They proc the safeguard right now. The Blazing Barrier just about keeping himself alive. This was nice kiting from Cheesy Nacho. Line of sight, and CMD able to save that Ice Block and Cauterize. So Order going to need to fight back again.
Yeah, this is such an awesome game. I mean, both teams, they're just playing their very best, doing everything they can to be clutch. Shredded still has all of his cooldowns, so Cheesy Nacho should be safe, but they need to force something here. They got the wings being used from Shredded. He needs to keep Cheesy Nacho alive, but there's that Warrior Fear from Yoski. Big plays could happen. Bops himself out of the Warrior Fear, then uses the Blessing and Sacrifice on a Cheesy Nacho. Nacho. Shredded holds onto his bubble that way. Very smart decision, I might say.
Mana is starting to maybe be an issue here. Proction already at 50%. Shredded moving in. Hammer of Justice. This is the opportunity for Gameface to get an ice block, maybe a kill if mistakes are made. Full blind, relentless, no way to escape. CMD in trouble, blinking out of the meteor. Temp Shield absorbing some hits. Sap out of blind. Crowd control is endless at the moment. Yosk disarming the rogue. Trying to stall out the pressure for CMD, but now Yosk is polyed. Oxygen dispels him to get him back in the fight. CMD still being pressured. 6 seconds away from an Iron Bar. Greater Pyroblast. Snipes him in the face. Another one. 2 in a row. You can't afford that, bro. CMD going to be ice blocking to stay alive, and now Gameface have a huge lead.
Yeah, they have a huge lead getting that ice block, but nice decision from CMD to use that instead of proccing that cauterize as well. He didn't want to risk it, but that means that Gameface, they're going to be on the aggression right now. Cheesy Nacho trying to get another Greater Pyro, gets counterspelled. That means Shredded's going to keep him up for now. They desperately need to get crowd control on the Shredded for them to win. No, they sneaked in another sheep on Oxygen, but luckily he got that Iron Bark off as well. It gets put into a half step. They can hodge him up. It would be devastation, but no. Shredder gets caught into a sheep. He uses that Divine Shield along with the Divine Favor to try and keep Cheesy Nacho top, but he's just struggling to get the heals off right now. Full Hammer of Justice on the Oxygen. They deny the setup. Cheesy Nacho getting lower and lower on HP. Nothing for him. Both teams going out all on aggression. They are fighting for their BlizzCon lives.
I cannot believe it. I mean, this Warrior Fear's coming out. Cheesy Nacho, he's getting pressured. Will he have to use the Ice Block? Yoski leaks onto him. They force the Ice Block. Full Sheep onto Shredded. This is during his wings. He won't be able to top off Cheesy Nacho. This is scary, but the Resheep is denied from Sixo, doing everything he can to keep his team in the game, and Shredded with a big Divine Favor heal, keeping him alive. Now CMD, he's on the back foot. The Iron Bark is being used, but he is still dipping low. But that fades, and they get a setup onto Oxygen. Things are scary. They go for the DP onto both CMD and Yoski, but Oxygen will not be getting polymorph. CMD going for a greater. Gets stopped right now. Oxygen just trying to reposition in that travel form, staying safe. They are fighting for their lives. They both want to go to BlizzCon so badly, and CMD caught into the kidney, caught into with that meteor, and they're just trying to spam as much damage as possible, force Oxygen out of form, and then they catch it with the Hodge as soon as he tries to heal. Perfect play from Shred. He uses a sack onto Cheesy Nacho, keeps him offensive. Full Sheep onto Oxygen. CMD has nothing. They need to burst him, but he is not dipping down low enough. Blind gets used onto Oxygen.
Full blind!
This could be it. We could have your champions. Luck onto CMD. He's trying to stay alive. Oxygen gets the Iron Bark
Cheesy
at the last
Nacho!
second, but they wasted it. Oh my god, he could go down. I don't know. Cheesy Nacho gets topped off. There's the Full Sheep onto Shredder, but he's still running with that cauterize available. What? I think that was a misplay. No, Gameface could go down.
Yosk gonna connect it. Cheesy Nacho gets taken out. Perfect crowd control. Order do it. 3 in a row. Gameface were on match point for so long, but they can't finish it off. Order our reigning APAC champions. Do it once again. There they are, and they are going to be going to BlizzCon. Unbelievable. They were playing from behind for most of that game, and then out of nowhere, swing it into their favor, and they've done it. We've got our Elite 8. We've got all of our champions from the respective regions going to the World Finals at BlizzCon later this year. What an insane series. What a way to just cap off everything this weekend. I am thoroughly pleased.
It's fantastic. I mean, not only were they behind in this series, they were behind the entire tournament, dropping down instantly. I can't believe, I mean, history was made. I called it out. I just like to say that. Could like to brag about that, but in all favors, the only people that should be bragging about is Order. I mean, to come back from a 3-1 against a Rogue Mage Pally, well played to them. Just absolutely incredible performance, and good job to Gameface, though. They gave them a run from their money. I think it's fair to say it went down to a nail biter. I mean, CMD was super low on HP, and for them to swing the match in their favor, what a game. What a series.
I actually can't believe that it came down to that.
Yeah, that was
There's literally
nuts.
no better way to end this. But we're setting up Order on the stage here. I can't wait to hear how they feel after that epic comeback. You literally couldn't ask for a better way to close out the APAC Finals. Dilly, what do we have?
What's up, guys? I'm here with Oxygen once again. I have seen you pretty much all day long. I don't know if I'm in your good luck charm or what's going on, but you guys finally made it to BlizzCon once more, back-to-back. How are you feeling after that win?
Feels surreal. Like, after getting knocked down in the lower bracket first day, we were like, okay, well, it's going to be a big gauntlet grind again like last year. Hopefully we can pull it off. And yeah, every team here was at such a high caliber, especially those guys on the other side of the stage. Like, their Iron Pala, so scary, but I guess we pulled through.
Do you think that you're going to feel a little bit more comfortable playing your Restoration Druid going into BlizzCon? I know that that is like your fourth alt, but you looked really good in those games. You looked like you were kind of adapting in the middle of it. I liked you playing the Relentless against them just to try to avoid more crowd control. And you guys were doing great job, but I just want to make sure that if you guys are confident going into BlizzCon, fighting teams like Cloud9, Wildcard Gaming, Method Black, do you guys think you have a chance?
I think we have a chance if the Disc Priest gets buffed. I'd like to thank Blizzard if they do that. But pretty much after the first game, we started changing our specs individually. And on the fourth game, or fifth game, Fresh was like, just go back to what you're playing first game and you'll win the whole tourney. And we grinded it back game by game, and it paid off.
All right. I mean, that's awesome. Congratulations, guys. See you at BlizzCon. See you in Anaheim.
Yep. Can I give a
Back
shout
to
out to Coach Mac, by
Oh,
the way?
yeah. Give any shout out.
Shout out Coach Mac. Shout out Order, and shout out all the fans watching from home. Really appreciate the support. And yeah, we'll see you at BlizzCon.
We will see you at BlizzCon. Order have done it. The Cinderella run through the lower bracket once again. They love to do it to us.
Yeah.
Give us a bit of a heart attack. Let's take a look at that Cinderella run. Yesterday, Gray smashed them down to the lower bracket, and they had to go one by one through the competition. ZFA was the first on their list, Team Light the second, and then the rematch with Gray where they 3-0'd them with confidence, almost losing out to Unitas for that lower bracket final, but ultimately making it to the grand finals against Gameface, where they had to reverse sweep 3 in a row.
Yeah.
That is a feat of strength, basically, against such a hyper-aggressive composition as the Rogue Mage Paladin. Congratulations are certainly in order for Order. They've qualified for BlizzCon. What a phenomenal event. What a phenomenal weekend. I really don't think we could have asked for anything better. Did it go the way that you expected, Joe?
I mean, I was honestly very nervous when it was 3-1. I was thinking, oh, Gameface, they only need to win one more game, and it was looking dire. But, I mean, you can just never you can never really count Order out. They're just, as soon as their back's against the wall, every time, they seem to just excel, play as good as they can, they just play insanely well to be able to beat this team, and you know they took it. I did not expect that. I did not expect them to play that good 3 games in a row.
Now I want to see them go up against Wildcard, and I want Warrior Mage Druid Mir.
I mean, they play Warrior Mage Monk and Wildcard.
Look at them. They're your APAC champions, and of course we've got Blizzard WoW Esports product manager David Hollings handing out the quest, our epic quest giver, as this team will be representing APAC, looking to go after the most coveted World of Warcraft PvP title, BlizzCon champion. Reigning champions representing APAC once again. This is a phenomenal roster. They have leveled up a lot since last year. I've loved watching this region throughout multiple years. Now they've got the diversity in composition and strategy as well. And I am sure that they will represent the region with pride at the World Final stage later this year. How do you think they're going to do at BlizzCon, Dilly?
I'm actually sad that both teams can't go. I mean, I honestly think both teams are absolutely fine. Like, they played really well. I think that they could do fine. I mean, it depends. This year is probably the most competitive year. Even if they do poorly, I think they're going to improve from that. And I think the APAC region is going to keep improving because, like, we keep seeing all these ANZ teams just keep getting better and better. Like, this is a better showing from last year. It was so much closer. I think we could just constantly see them adapt. And, I mean, honestly, the competition breeds more competition. With a cutthroat year like this, I expect, even if it goes poorly for them, I'm excited for 2020.
I am very excited for 2020 as well. It's been a fantastic event. Thank you to Dilly and Joe. More importantly,
it was
Joe,
great
for
being
putting
here.
up with Dilly. It has been a fantastic cast, an epic finish. Are we coming in for a group hug? We're coming for a group hug.
Just both you
Thank you
hug me.
for all of you at home putting up with the cringe. I hope that it was worth it to see a champion crowned. Thank you to all of the staff and production crew here at the VSG Arena. It's been a fantastic event. Certainly a joyful one. One going to be in my memories for some time. We're going to be seeing you. The next time we see you, it's going to be at BlizzCon. It's been an insane year, and we're going to get to cap it all off there in California. We'll see you at BlizzCon.